Okay, here we go, guys. Welcome to our weekly connection call. We are super excited to have you on today. We're going to be talking about the incentive trip and how to make a plan and how to really start off on the best foot. Like I said, Ariel is here. She is going to pop in and out, but we're really going to just talk about what the qualifications are, how to make a plan, how to put that plan into action, and how to make sure that nobody is scrambling come January, because that is literally the worst. So just like we talk about in business about front loading our month, whether that's through Scentsy Club like I do, or parties or events, or however you do it, you want to front load your incentives as well. So I'm actually going to log into the workstation, to my workstation, because this way I can share my screen with y'all and we can look at the qualifications together to make sure that everybody understands and nobody has any kinds of questions. I'm going to do my best to keep this to about 30 minutes. That way you guys can use the last few minutes to either ask questions or share experiences from SFR, all of that, because SFR is going to be huge next year, and it is absolutely something that you're going to want to earn if Hawaii is either something that you don't want or is unattainable or whatever that may be. SFR is going to be amazing. So if I could get my works.
Hey dudes, I am almost in a parking lot, but it sounds like Maggie is frozen. And oh, looks like she might have to pop back on. Okay, so what she was gonna say, I assume, is that front loading your calendar is going to be super important, and front loading the whole season in general is going to be super important. Because that will give you the most opportunity to have parties, to meet new people, to bring new people into this amazing group and family, and help them start their businesses off on the right foot. Does that make sense? So front loading is legit critical. What I did in the last couple weeks was I made a post on Facebook about, hey, I'd love to spoil my friends with some free Scentsy, who is that? Or I had them drop a GIF or an emoji or something, and I booked 5 parties over the next 2 weeks from it. And one cool thing is I had a host. We were getting ready to close hers out. Her sister was getting ready to host a bag party with me, and I actually just signed on my friend who closed her party, and so I'm gifting the bag party to her for her, because it's her sister, right? So I'm going to help her get started on the right foot. So opportunities like that are really incredible to be able to take advantage of. And okay, I'm going to park real quick and I'll pop back on. Anybody have anything they want to contribute to front loading, or share how you are starting your month?
I am going and reaching out to.
Sorry, guys, I'm back. Can anybody hear me? Yes, no, maybe.
I was saying I am reaching out to every possible person who's had a fall link or party in the past, and just offer. What I did today is share. If you offer to have a shopping link, I will give you a sneak peek at the fall catalog. And I've gotten a lot of response.
I love that opportunity because that's something you can kind of keep close to the vest as far as the fall catalog goes. I have the exclusive, images. I can exclusively show you things and kind of use it as a carrot.
Yeah.
And who doesn't want to see the new cool stuff, right?
Yeah, it's good.
All right, Maggie, we can see you again. We could hear you a second ago.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. I am so sorry. I just asked Scott to get off the Wi-Fi so that we're not trying to share it. This is so fun. The best part of working at my parents' house for sure. Okay. I'm going to see if I can share my screen with you guys. Maybe. Nope, I can't.
And you're frozen
fine.
again.
It's fine. Okay. Let's just talk about the qualifications. Everybody should have looked at this by now. Yes. Everybody's looked at least. Okay. So, level 1 is going to be 15,000 points. 500 of that has to be sponsoring points. Now they have said that sponsoring points are going to come from like 3 different ways, basically. If you have a consultant that joined prior to August 1st and they certify, you get 250 points. So how can you get to 500? That way you can have 2 people that have either reinstated, like right now, reinstatements are a big push. So if you have 2 people that have reinstated that never reached certified, those 2 people certifying can get you to that 500. Or if you have someone that joined after August 1st and they certify, you're going to get 1,000 points for them. Now they changed it a little bit this year. And for sponsoring points, if you have, 2 or more that certify, I'm double checking. I have my thing pulled up. 2 or more that certify, you're going to get what? 1,500 points? What? Why are we laughing? What happened? We check just the double check.
I was just laughing because the triple check Dan didn't do.
Yeah, I'm triple checking because I'm not going to pull a Dan. Yeah, so 2 or more, you're going to get 1,500 each. And then for 3 or more that certify, you're going to get 2,000 each. So what does that mean? That means if you have 3 people that join from yesterday forward and they certify, you're going to get 6,000 points. That's a lot of points. Okay. Now, if you are going to earn level 2, that is either a trip for 1 to SFR or a trip for 1 to Hawaii. And now if you earn it for 1 and you want to take your spouse, best friend, whatever, you still can. There is a buy-in option. A couple years ago, I had to do that. Just fully transparent. I've earned a lot of trips. I've only ever not earned for 2 one time. And we're just not going to talk about it because it's a mess. And so when I talk about like how to set up things the best way, there are only so many things that you can control about earning an incentive trip. You can control the number of recruiting conversations that you have. You can control your PRV. You cannot control what someone does with that business, and you cannot control, whether or not someone certifies or promotes or whatever. So understand that you're going to come into this with a game plan. How all of that pans out is, kind of how it pans out. You can't force someone to work their business. You can't force someone to promote. You can't force someone to certify, etc. So you kind of just got to do what you're going to do. But if you don't earn for 2, you can always buy somebody in. That is an option. And so just know that. Level 3 is a trip for 2, either to SFR in Orlando or a trip for 2 to Hawaii. And then the top level is the top 50, and that is a trip to Bora Bora. If you've ever been on a top level trip with Scentsy, it is incredible, amazing. Nothing will ever top it. 1 second.
So true.
Sorry, Scott is texting me. Okay, so those are the 3 options. Each one has different qualification points. For level 1, you have to have 500 sponsoring points. For level 2, you have to have 5,400 sponsoring points. Why 5,400? I'm not entirely sure. It's actually 5,500 at a minimum. For level 3, you have to have 9,600 points. I don't know why they said that. It's actually either 9,750 or 10,000 sponsoring points. It's because there's not a way to get to 9,600. Loading those sponsoring points. And how do you do that? You want to sponsor, if not all, most of your new consultants in August or September. All of them. This month, we have a huge join kit. We've got the warmer and the harvest bars, plus all the transition pieces. It is an insane deal. It's like $250 worth of stuff for $99. And then we do have the option, like we all know, for the host kit. If we have someone that hosts a party, we can flip them. Or if you just have a party sitting in your workstation, like I think I have 5 right now sitting in my workstation that I've not closed out yet, that I was just kind of passing on the rewards for since we were moving. And I didn't really want a bunch of extra Scentsy stuff sitting around. I can use those kits to gift to people if I choose to do so, and get them in that way. So there's all kinds of different ways, but it is always best to try to get your sponsoring point possibilities at the beginning of the qualification period. That way you're not scrambling to recruit people in December and January and hope that they have good launch parties and, be focusing on getting them certified, because you can have as much PRV points as you want, but you have to have those sponsoring points. You have to. So for the 9,600, you can recruit 5 new people and have them all certify. You can recruit 4 new people and then have some reinstatements certify. You might have someone that is sitting at certified or lead and they are super close to promoting. You'll get sponsoring points for them. So look at where your group is now, where your frontline are now. See who is where, who has that potential, who really wants it, who wants to promote, who wants to work to earn the trip. Because really, during this time, working with your frontline to help them earn the trip is what will help them to promote. They want to do the same thing that you're doing. Have them come along with you and earn it together, because as they are building their team and they are getting their own sponsoring points, you will also get those sponsoring points for them when they promote to certified lead. Or is it just certified lead this time? I think it is. I think it's just certified lead.
Yeah, it's just certified lead. Yep.
Yeah, but we want our group to also earn the trip and to help grow our, their organization, which grows our organization, right? So in creating your own plan, that will also help them to create theirs too. But you always want to start with the sponsoring points, because those are non-negotiable. It doesn't matter if you have 100,000 points at the end of this thing. If you don't have the sponsoring points, you're not earning the trip. And they do that so that, like, especially for top 50, for, maybe some of those internet salespeople, they're not going to just earn all of the top spots, because they might not be focusing on growing their team. They might be just focusing on selling tens of thousands of dollars every single month. Mm-hmm. That's, not going to earn them the trip. They have to sponsor. Scentsy wants us growing our teams too, not just selling. Okay. So focus on the sponsoring first. Make that part of your plan first, because you can control the PRV. You can, whether you think you can or you can't. I promise you can. We can all do huge things in 24 hours, in 3 days, in a week, in a month. So if you can get all of your sponsoring points done in the first month or 2 or 3, because you want to sponsor them in August or September, give them maybe a month to certify. Because what happens in September? We have the new catalog. We have the harvest collection. October, we have the holiday collection. If someone is trying, like genuinely trying in this business, they will certify in the first few weeks in the fall. It is not hard to do. We all know that. It's not. They just have to try. So set them up early, set them up in the beginning of this incentive period. And not only will they grow and get their business rolling, but that is how you'll get your sponsoring points as well. Okay. So start there. You have to. Then look at the places where Scentsy gives us extra points. And that is in paid at title points. So where are you at right now? I will be very honest and say that I am not getting paid as a superstar director right now. I don't have the frontline directors anymore. So right now I'm going to put on my monthly tracker, I'm going to start with 1,500 each month. I know that that's coming because that's my minimum. That's where I'm at right now. And then the goal, obviously, of course, is to get paid at title again. Then that can bump up to 2,500, but I'm not going to bank on that because, again, that's not something that I can control. So I'm going to put my points where I know that they will be. And then if I get that extra 1,000 per month as being paid as a superstar director, awesome. But I'm not going to bank on that. And that's not part of my sponsoring points either. Those are just points in general. So when you look at your activity bonus, look at where you're at right now. And then obviously you want to make your goal to be paid at title or to promote, because then you're going to get those promotion points, which is awesome. But you don't want to bank on that, right? So for activity, that's what I always do. And then for PRV consistency, if you're selling 1,000 or more PRV for 5 out of the 6 months, you're going to get an extra 1,500 points. And I'm just going to be really honest with y'all. You're not going to earn a trip if you're not selling more than $1,000 a month. You're probably not even going to earn luggage if you're only selling $1,000 a month as a leader, because there's only so many promotion points available to us. I can't earn promotion points at all. That's why my activity bonus is higher than others, because I can't go anywhere else. I can't get 10,000, 5, 8, 10,000 promotion points, which those count as sponsoring points, don't they? Or no? I don't remember. Hold on. Personal promotions. I don't remember. I think those are just sponsoring points. I'm not going to get those points for sponsoring. You know what I mean? So that's why they give us a little bit extra points as far as the activity bonus goes. But just know that as a leader, especially in one of the top 3 titles, that's really the mark that you need to shoot for if you're going to earn one of these trips. Okay, they do count as sponsoring. Awesome. Perfect. So if one of your goals is to promote, now, unfortunately, as if you have been a director and you have dropped down to superstar consultant, you are not going to get those points again when you re-promote to director, because you've already hit that title once. So do not factor that into your.
Hey, Maggie, those do not count as sponsoring points, to clarify.
Oh, they do not.
They do
Oh,
not.
sorry, I read that wrong.
Mhm.
Do not. Should have reread that. Okay, they do not count. Sorry, Courtney, I read that wrong. Okay, so, but either way, we need to be trying to grow our organizations. And so we'll talk a little bit about that in just a minute. And so that's where we're going to get those sponsoring points. But for PRV, you're going to get 1 point for every PRV that you sell. So just know that that is where you can really control things. And so you need to set those expectations for what your PRV is going to be. I would say, honestly, you need a minimum of 2,000 a month to be able to do that. In the fall, is that easier? Yes. But if we can really get into that habit of having 2 new recruits and 2,000 PRV a month, not only are you going to grow a really solid, sustainable business, but that's how you're going to earn this trip. Okay. So like I said, again, there's the 1,500 in PRV consistency points. If you sell 1,000 or more, everybody should bank on that, because everybody should be doing that. And then if you attend in-person world tour, which again, 500 boxes that Scentsy gives us, but really sponsoring and PRV is where you're going to earn this trip. Now, let's talk about, where you can get those points. For me, I already know at a minimum, for the most part, unless someone cancels or skips their club, or unless I have new club subscribers, I can already look forward over the next however many months, because I can look on my Scentsy Club tracker and I can see exactly where some of that PRV is going to come from. So I can go ahead and pencil that in. And then obviously the goal is to get more subscribers and to have more PRV than that. As far as reinstatements, I know that I this morning sent an email to Grant, who is like our IT reports guy. And I asked for a report of all of my frontline and all of my group members as a whole that have canceled. So then what I'll do is I will email my previous frontline and say that we want them back. If they're in my group and their sponsor is no longer with us, I will email them. Otherwise, I'm going to kind of divvy up based on who their previous sponsor or director was, and then just say, these are your people that have canceled. I don't know if there's an easier way to do that so that I don't have to send it all out. But as of right now, that's kind of my plan, to let them know about what the reinstatement kit looks like what the trips are, what we're going to be doing. I don't know, Fallon, if it's an SSD perk only. I just know I can email him and ask for reports at any time, but I'm not sure if it is just SSDs or not. I will
Okay,
ask for sure.
I don't think it is.
We've asked the big.
I saw something
It's not?
yesterday that all you have to do if you've previously sponsored, just start a chat with consultant support, and they should be able to email you a list right away.
And I got one sent within like the hour, and they have a whole spreadsheet.
Oh, nice. Okay, so no, it's not just an SSD perk. I don't know about Grant, if Grant is an SSD only connection, but you can, yes, just email support or chat with support and ask them, which is great. Amber, if you were the previous sponsor, it should say if their previous sponsor is still a consultant, it will say you can rejoin under your previous sponsor or choose another. Because that is an option for all past consultants, is that they can choose another sponsor if they've been out for so long. But if you are still active and you were their previous sponsor, then yes, you can, it'll tell them that you were their previous sponsor and they can rejoin under you. So reinstatements, that's a big thing, because let's just think about all the consultants that joined in the last couple years that didn't certify. Like, I know I have a lot. I've talked a little bit ago about joining or earning Alaska and having to buy Scott in. That's because I personally recruited 16 people during the incentive period and only 3 of them certified. So not for lack of trying on my part, not for lack of recruiting on my part, it just didn't happen, you know? And there's nothing that I could do about that. All I could do is recruit more people and try to work with them. If they didn't work their business, honestly, that's not a reflection on me. So if you are recruiting people and they are not reflection on you, it's just not the right time for some people. A lot of people will come back and then decide that they're ready to do it. Some people decide that they just wanted to be customers. It's not on you. So just know that you can create this plan and you can recruit these people. They may or may not do anything, but that just means we got to keep pushing forward. Okay. I think that it's incredibly generous that they gave us the option for earning, 1,500 or 2,000 points based on how many people are promoting to certified. So kind of just look at that and see where to go from there. Also look in your organizations and where they're at right now. Who wants to promote to lead? Who's super close? Who maybe has a frontline consultant but hasn't synced up with them to where they both have 500 in a month, or one has more than 500, all of that happens all the time where it just doesn't sync up. It is totally doable to earn these trips. And from what we were told at reunion, as far as the Universal party, like, I don't know if any of you were at Disney when we earned it a couple of years ago, but when Scentsy says it's an exclusive party, that means they shut down the park for us. And my kids continue to ask me, oh, when are we going back to Disney? We're not until Scentsy can take us back, because it sounds like absolute hell to go wait in the park with my 7 children to ride 3 things all day. We're not doing that. We're only going when Scentsy takes us back. And Mama's going to work her ass off to earn it for all of us again, because that's literally the only way to do Disney is with Scentsy. Like, I don't understand how people do it otherwise, because that's, I don't want to wait in lines. I just don't want to do all that. So when Scentsy says that there's going to be an exclusive party at Universal, that's what that means. And it's going to be awesome. I cannot wait for it. So I'm definitely going to reunion. But for me, Hawaii has just a huge special place in my heart, because that was the very first incentive trip that I ever earned, was Hawaii for 2 during Pick Pack Play in 2013. That's where Scott and I had our, okay, bye Ariel. That's where Scott and I had our, basically makeup honeymoon, because we didn't get one when we first got married. And last year, Scott and I went back. He worked out of the country a ton the fall before and had just literally over 1 million Hilton points. And they were like, hey, do you want to go to Hawaii for 5 days for $500? And we were like, yes, we do. So that's where we went together and spent 5 days dreaming. And here we are. We decided during that trip that we were going to move to North Carolina. happened to stumble upon the land that we would buy just a couple weeks later, because we sent my dad out to look at it and he was like, figure it out, guys, that you'll never find anything like this ever again. So the Lord just really opened every single door wide open that we would need to make this possible for our family. And here we are. So Hawaii is super, super special to us. I'm going to shoot for Bora Bora because your girl always shoots for the top tier. Whether or not I choose to take it is to be seen. But it is always my goal to do as much as I can. What is that? Oh, there's deer. Hickory, you may not go there. I think it's deer. Guys, there's something very large moving in the woods right now. Hold on. Okay. Anyway, it actually might be bears, Kaylee. There was a bear like 10 minutes away from here a couple weeks ago. So we're just gonna, Hickory, you gotta stay right here. I can't do it. Anyway, I just need to go to Hawaii now, obviously. I am going to go inside. I'm literally 10 steps from the door. No. How many of you have earned trips before? And you're probably like, yeah, Maggie, we got this. Scentsy does have outlines on the workstation of if you are this starting title, how you can earn it. Honestly, the sponsoring points is the biggest thing. That is something that is non-negotiable. You have to get those sponsoring or you're not gonna. Sorry, guys, it keeps kicking me out. There's not a bear, I don't think. Anyway, does anybody have questions right now in our last few minutes about the trip, about the earning period? You have to get the sponsoring points. You have to figure out where those are going to come from. You can catch up in PRV. Sponsoring points are non-negotiable. Yeah, I can handle Bambi too. But it's very loud, whatever it is out there, and looks very large. So I'm just really hoping that it's maybe Bambi's dad and not a bear, but we'll find out. Does anybody have questions? Feel free to unmute yourself and ask, for real. Like, we've got 10 minutes left. And if you have questions or if you want to share any experiences about past incentives or SFR, yes, Courtney, a bear, sorry. I froze. It keeps kicking me out.
I had a question, but I had two, but I forgot. One was the director
Aaron,
one.
is that you?
Yeah, it's Aaron. But I had another question about points, and now I can't remember what it is. Let me think. How to earn points.
Yeah, Courtney, I haven't seen it yet. So as soon as I see it, I'll be out, but I don't see anything right now. It's fine. Anybody?
Aaron,
Amber?
was it the one multiplying with the recruits? If they were certified, we were talking about earlier?
It had something to do with recruits and numbers, but now I should have wrote it down.
Okay, all right, I'm going back to pulling my weeds.
Yeah, if you're only going to get 250 points for previous consultants that are now going to certify. So go back and look. There's already a report on the workstation that says essential to certified. So that'll tell you anybody in your organization, and roll-ups count, by the way. Roll-ups count for that. So if you, oh, awesome, Courtney, they were really fast with that. Okay, so everybody do that. So I'm going to just, ignore the fact that I asked for my entire group. And I'm just going to ask for, or I'm just going to look at the one that's my front line. But roll-ups count, like I said. So look at roll-ups. I mean, we just had people roll up to us. Aaron, you just rolled up to me. So there's roll-ups that are going to count. You're going to get 250 points for those. So maybe you're going to look at your essential to certified report today, and you're going to see that there's 8 people that are still active that have not certified yet. That's 2,000 points. Work with them. They're already there. Make sure that they know about the new fall stuff that's coming. Make sure that they know that we are transitioning on September 1st. Sometimes it might just take one order, you know? Like I have people that all the time sit between like 600 and 800 PRV and they haven't certified yet. It doesn't take much to get them over that hump. All of those are going to add up and they are going to matter. So don't discount them. Oh yeah, and sensational start. Oh, awesome, Fallon. Yeah, and sensational start. I forgot that they were giving points for that. So that's fantastic because that's always our goal.
We
But we
get
set people
points.
up whether we're in an incentive period or not. Like
Mhm.
that's the thing. Yes, we're focusing hard on recruiting because we're going to get those sponsoring points, but we're not treating them any differently. We still want them to hit shooting star. We still want them to reach sensational start. We still want them to certify because that's the best way to get our recruits set up. That's what an incentive period qualifications like strategy does, is set you up to build good habits that you should carry on with you through the entire year. And when you can do these things all year round, it's not hard to earn a trip. I will be very honest and tell you that other than like getting recruits and hitting recruiting harder, I don't do anything differently during an incentive period than I do the rest of the year. I don't. And I earn trips every year. So if we can just do what they want us to do to earn this trip all the time, it won't be hard. You know what I mean? Like it might be hard the first time, the second time, it's not going to be hard. I'm sorry. I think I just interrupted somebody. Who else was trying to say something? Aaron, did you remember?
I can't remember what.
Other question?
I have a question, Maggie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sensational to get those points for sensational start. So I think that'll be good. Still can't remember it. If you need help making a plan, let us know. Honestly, get your
Maggie.
recruits down first, make a dream team list, and go from there.
Maggie,
Haley,
can you
you
hear
have
me?
a question, right? Go ahead.
You guys are, Kaylin, yes, I can hear you.
So on when you scroll down on the how to earn the points and stuff, and it says my starting title, for the recruiting to certifieds, it doesn't say that it would be 2,000 each. It says like the first one you get 1,000 points, the second one you get 1,500 points, and then the third and fourth, etc., you get 2,000 points. Do you know? Is that breakdown correct, or is it literally if I had three, that all three would be 2,000 points?
Hold on, let me reread it. They've done it differently in the past, so it's
I was
Do you-
where you're looking. I thought it built up. So the first, the second,
okay. Is it build up now?
and then 4 and up, I thought was the 2,000.
Okay,
That's how I read it, but
so 3
That's
and up
how I-
then, because at 3 you'll get 2,000.
3 and up, yeah. So that's how I see it on my starting title plans.
So, if you're, Maggie,
So,
what is the number then? If we're doing all new recruits, just say, to get to that first trip, how many new people do you need to certify then? You said 5 or 6, I think, right?
Well, let's see. Okay, so you're gonna get 1,000 for, what do we need? 9,600? So dumb. I'm just gonna put 10 because that's the reality. If you're doing all new recruits, you're gonna get 1,000 for your first one and 1,500 for your second one. Ooh, hold on, click the wrong thing.
Then 2,000. So that 3 is at 4,500. And 4
Yeah,
would be 5.
But also, Aaron, like if they got sensational start, that would be some extra points. If they got to lead, that would be some extra points. So
Yeah,
it just depends on how far those new recruits would promote to on a number.
I mean, honestly, you need a solid. If you're only focusing on new recruits, you need a solid 5.
I just was, I'm obviously going to work on everything, but I was just curious, like, okay,
You need a solid 5, and then
Yeah.
that's doable.
yeah, you need a solid 5.
Hopefully.
So, and then hopefully hopefully with 4, you can get them to,
Sensational start or something.
their sensational start levels and all of that, and you can get more, but
I don't know,
I would say you need 5 at a minimum.
I feel like one of the things I was thinking of, the newer you are, I always feel like it's easier to earn because Scentsy is new to all your friends and you have all those promotion points. And I only say that because each year I've earned it. This will be my 4th trip if I get Hawaii. And each year it's gotten a little harder because I can't get the promotions and my target audience is already kind of saturated. So I'm having to build wider. So if you're new, like you can do it. It's totally within your grasp.
That's what I just told a couple of
Oh, yeah.
my team.
Absolutely.
I'll just say, I earned, no, that couldn't have, no. I was going to say I earned pretty soon, but no, I didn't. I joined in November. So I'm sure there's no way I earned the trip that year after that. Because there's no way I could have earned a trip from November to January. So. How many people who are on here have been on a trip? I'm curious.
And I definitely would say, like, if you can have Fallon for sure. Fallon, Kaylee. Kaylin, you earned, didn't you? Courtney's
No,
been on
I'm
a trip.
just registration.
Okay. You were in level one though, for sure.
Yeah,
Okay.
I was about 800 from level 2.
Oh, so close. So close.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
happened this year.
Oh, I forgot about Broadmoor, Courtney. Yeah, we talked about that last week, didn't we?
so
Your Broadmoor was for you what Hawaii was for me. Yeah,
I have-
it's totally doable. Just have to make a plan, have to stick to it. Don't give up. It is never too late. Ever, ever, ever too late. You can definitely do it, but try to get your recruiting done early because it's better for them, honestly, to get a head start in the fall season. So the sooner you can get those recruits in and then work with them, and then anything else is just gravy. Any other new people that you have come in is just gravy. But the sooner you can get those newer people in for the fall, they're going to have a much better fall season if they get in now before everything gets crazy. Because it is a little bit overwhelming too, but you don't want people to feel like they're having to play catch up. Whenever they want to join is great, but I always feel better about people joining in August or September versus, further on in the season. So, okay, got 2 more minutes. I know canceled Bermuda and canceled Amsterdam. I'll never get over that one ever in my life. I was so sad about that, but I'm pumped about Hawaii, and honestly, SFR is going to be amazing this next
don't
year.
know.
They've probably got so many things up their sleeve that we don't even know about. So I'm pumped for it. And don't forget, if you are earning for Hawaii,
I thought of my question, a question, but you keep going.
I was just going to say, if you are earning for Hawaii, like if that's your goal, don't forget to be saving some of your commissions every month so that you can still go to SFR so that it's still attainable for you. Because when we have these higher PRV months, be setting some of that aside so that registration doesn't sneak up on you, so that hotel doesn't sneak up on you next year. Like set some of that aside so that you're not having to choose. You know what I mean? Okay, Erin, what was your question?
I just typed it. I was,
Any
like,
title. It's just the top 50.
Like, but do regular people earn the top 50? That just seems so unattainable to me.
Yeah.
I figured if you got to the top 50, you would have to have had some promotions or something. So I don't know. Yeah.
No, not necessarily. I earned top 25 for the med cruise and I didn't have any promotions in there.
I told Jack I wanted to go to Bora Bora and he said, no, he wants just to go to Hawaii. And I'm like, okay.
I mean, I'm kind of with him, but
I
Bora
told
Bora is great for some people.
I said, if I earn Bora Bora, we will stop in Hawaii on the way there. I promise.
Go, Lindsay. I love it. Yeah. And Michelle earned top 150 for Marco. I mean, there are, people of all titles that will earn those top trips. Promise. You will not just see SSDs in there. Because I'm going to be real honest with you. Obviously an SSD, like we don't lose our title necessarily. I still have the SSD title, even though I'm not being paid at title. I would have to drop further below director in order to lose my title. but like, not all SSDs are paid at title. Not all SSDs are working their business. You know what I mean? So just because we have that title, definitely don't put us on any kind of pedestal because we are no better or we're, I mean, like
Okay.
that's not. When they
So
said
my
we get room doctor, we choose SFR. Yeah.
My question was
one.
about paid at title.
Yeah.
So because I'm a superstar consultant, I'd have to be paid at title at superstar consultant to be paid at title, right? Like that's,
Yes.
and the only
For-
reason this July is the first time I've been paid at title at superstar consultant and since the spring. So it was hard though. So I'm like,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah. So you'll have to get paid at superstar consultant, or it's your starting, like wherever you start. Yes. So that's where you'll be. And then when you get your title back this fall, because
we're
we're
doing
going to put that into the universe because that's the goal, then you'll get bumped up to those director activity bonus points.
it will
Yes,
happen.
Courtney, everything Harry Potter. It's going to be so good. I cannot wait for the universal piece. I think it's going to be amazing. And I feel like they're going to have to do something Disney too because of the Dumbo ride. So I think we're going to get like maybe both, you know, at some point in that SFR part. But anyway, okay. Well, I actually have to jump off here to get my life together a little bit before I hop on the Superstar Director call in a few minutes. But I hope everybody has a good grasp of what it takes to earn a trip, how to make your plan. If you have questions, ask either me or Ariel. Happy to help you. Every one of you can do this. I know that you can. It's nothing worth having is easy, but you know, yes, time to start grinding, Kaylee. Absolutely. I'm super excited for this season. I feel like tides are turning. There's so much goodness that is coming. I'm pumped. So I love you guys. Thank you for being here today. This was recorded, even though I was in and out. So sorry about that. Never did see the bear. We're going to keep an eye on that though, you know? Okay. Have a good day. Bye guys.